Going. We'll just have a fun little humorous bit of audio there at the start of our stream.
All right, my bad. Sorry about that, everybody. Welcome in. It's Phil Nagy. It's Kit Nagy. It's Nagy on Sports. We are back. It is playoff time here on the channel, and of course in real life it is the AFC Divisional round with the number 1 seed Kansas City Chiefs hosting the upstart Jacksonville Jaguars. And again, Trevor Lawrence doing all kinds of crazy things, trying to break records by throwing 1,000 interceptions and then still coming back and winning last week, which is what they did. But pretty wild. Kit, good to have you back on the mic. How you doing today?
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's been a while, and certainly excited to be here. This is a big matchup. Who would have thought early in that preseason when we saw these Jaguars that here they would be in the postseason, especially after the season they came off of with the 1-year Urban Meyer venture, which was such a disaster for everyone there. Yeah. But now Jacksonville very much in a position that they've come full circle very quickly and really gotten the best out of Trevor Lawrence, who has shown really true grit in that last game, throwing 4 first-half interceptions and somehow still overcoming that mentally to be able to put together a winning effort, which was just truly impressive. And here they are in the divisional round going up against the Chiefs, who is no small task. The big question for them is can their defense hold up?
Absolutely. Appreciate you joining us and being on with us today. Welcome in, Wendell. Welcome in, Earl, as we kick this one off. Looks like a pretty day in Kansas City as Trevor Lawrence and company trot out onto the field. Again, they spent a lot of money in free agency, which you can do when you have your quarterback on a rookie deal. And so guys like Marvin Jones and Christian Kirk and Brendan Scherf and Evan Ingram and potentially all these people that they quote-unquote overpaid for, it certainly seems to have worked out so far for them.
Well, don't undervalue the return of Etienne and what he's done from coming back from that injury. He's been huge for this offense.
He sure has. He's not in the lineup on this first one. They're going to go 5 wide. Lawrence will drag across the middle. He's completed his pass, and it's caught by Christian Kirk for 9 yards up near the first down line. Is where he will be tackled.
Speaking of that free agency productivity, there it is as Kirk gets the first action of the day.
Little boot now to the right side after the play action. Lawrence will keep it 35. We saw this a lot in the Chargers-Jags sim in the wild card round, him tucking and getting out of the pocket quickly as well. Hey, yeah, Wendell, Kit and I were just talking that before we went live.
That's right.
I think people like Miles actually are excited about that. I think people are like, oh, Miles, you're going to have to be held accountable. I think Miles would love somebody to hold him accountable.
Yeah, that's what players want, honestly. They want to be coached tough, and they want to be held accountable, especially the stars. They don't want to have a different standard for them just because they're a star. And honestly, the stars that think they should be held to a different standard are the stars you don't want on your team.
Very fair. Good point. Good point. Sack there for Derek Notty. Sets up a 3rd and long now. Lawrence on a 3rd and 11. Right side towards the sideline. Caught, and he got both feet in bounds. First down, that's Zay Jones. Another one of those free agent pickups. 21 yards and a first down.
Yeah, crafty little look there from these Jaguars, finding a way to move the chains, and just a nice little throw open there out on the outside, putting it on Jones. Really, where only Jones could come down with it, and then nice body control to secure the catch.
Hey, George, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Double tight ends left side. They go play action to Travis Etienne. Across the middle now is the second tight end. He's got a first down. That's Chris Manhertz, former Carolina Panther. And he's kind of a little out route there off the play action. Looked like Etienne was also open in the middle. There's the Silver Fox himself, Doug Peterson, on the sideline.
Well, early going to this one, this Chiefs defense seems a little bit flat-footed here as the Jaguars really kind of just having their way with their action, as they're going to get a big hole up in the middle after setting up all those passes.
Nice draw. Pass to set up the run. That's the new NFL, right? And that's a 10-yard or 9.5-yard run for Travis Etienne on the draw play. They'll give it to him again. They're going to fake it to him. Maybe a little RPO action. He'll step up, take a hit from Frank Clark, but he actually shoves him across the line for a first down.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get it either way, but certainly helped by the tackle.
Yep, welcome in, James. Good to have you on, my friend. Little quick out route. That's Evan Ingram, the tight end. Again, former New York Giant. It's been very successful here in Jacksonville. Now Lawrence, and their opening drive, you can see he's a superstar underneath him. Oh, look at that broken tackle from Etienne. He might have the first, but we have a flag in the vicinity of holding or in the vicinity of roughing the passer. They hit Lawrence and they hit him late.
Yep, they certainly did. You gotta be very careful around that quarterback, especially just a tick late is going to throw a flag every time, and that's free yardage. They probably had the first down, great effort, kind of nullified, but it didn't really matter. Now they're in a scoring position for sure.
Etienne to the right side, and not just a shifty back. He can run between the tackles as well. He's down to the 3. Really nice balance here on this opening drive for the Jaguars. Now inside the 5. Lawrence back to pass over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marvin Jones Jr., the law firm of Jones, Jones, and Kirk. And Marvin is the one into the end zone. Touchdown, Jags. Wonderful opening drive for them.
Yeah, it certainly was. That was a very efficient drive for the Jaguars. Really just marching downfield, having their way with the defense, finding gaps in the coverage, and then setting up the run and taking advantage of that. And then when they needed to, just spreading the ball to all their playmakers. They really got it to pretty much everybody involved there.
Yeah, sure did. 7 for 7 was Lawrence on that drive. Also ran for a couple as well. 71 yards and 11 plays.
And I would not be surprised.
Patterson drills it out of the end zone.
Sorry, pardon me. I was going to say, I would not be surprised to see the Jaguars play the Chiefs tough. They're really playing on house money here. They're in a position where, especially after the season they came off of and how that all went. They're seeing some success. They're riding a little bit of that momentum, and they've got nothing to lose. So why not?
Absolutely. All right, here's Mahomes. His first throw of the game, left side out of 5 wide open. Smith-Schuster, and he's down to the 41. That's a gain of 34 and a big strike on first down.
And that's the trouble here, though. Going up against the Chiefs is they are very potent in their own right, and they've got one of the best in the business calling the plays, and then one of the best in the business slinging the rock. So, not to mention the best tight end in the game, certainly makes for a very, very dangerous combination to go up against. So it has the potential here to be a bit of a back and forth slugfest.
Very much does. Welcome in, John. Happy Friday to you. Little dig across the middle, rather, and that's Smith-Schuster again. He's kind of having an up and down season here after coming over, of course, from the Steelers, and everybody thought that he would just kind of pick up and become the heir apparent to Tyreek Hill. As this one's going to be tipped off a helmet and almost picked. It bounced off the helmet of the middle linebacker, Olakun. And fortunately for them, incomplete. However, they're going to try a long field goal here, 50-yarder, to start their scoring effort. Surprisingly, Andy Reid didn't go for that at 4th and 1.
Yeah, a little surprising it doesn't go for it, but does pick up some points on the nice kick there. But I will say that was certainly a missed opportunity for the Jags defense. That would have been a huge swing in the game if they had kept the Chiefs off the board and started their own drive with reasonably good field position off of a pick.
That's true. Andy Reid opts to take the points. 7-3, so both teams scoring on their opening drive. Lawrence back out onto the field. He'll start with an empty set. Hey, Kishan, welcome in, my friend.
Yeah, long time.
Been a minute.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Trips to the left side, to the right. They'll go short over the middle, and it's almost picked off. Willie Gay, the linebacker, stuck that big paw in. 2nd and 10. Lawrence now surveys the field. He'll step up, throw quickly to the right side. I think they roughed him again.
I think they did.
Chiefs a little bit amped specifically on the defensive side, and that's going to be 15 and a first down. You cannot do that. It would have been 3rd and 10 otherwise. Chris Jones just got to be a little bit more calm.
Yep.
Getting to that quarterback.
I think like they're trying to make up for the fact that this offense really had their way on their first drive a little bit, and now feeling the pressure to get something in on defense, but unfortunately goes the wrong way there.
Again, a little pump fake right away from Lawrence, but this one will be complete short to Kirk, but he's going to pick up another 9 yards, 2nd and 1. Left side, Etienne, first down to the 50-yard line. Yeah, I saw those headlines too. I thought it was interesting that they sort of phrased it like he was in trouble. It's like, no, somebody just stole his truck.
Yeah, clickbait.
How is he in trouble?
Ridiculousness. Somebody stole his
like,
truck.
Well, it was other
problem.
cars too, and they were stolen from a dealership. You're like, okay, so there's nothing to do with just a random chance that it was his truck. Like, stop trying to make this
So ridiculous.
Big trouble with the law. It has to get his car back from the police. You're like, what? You read it and you're like, oh, somebody jacked his car.
So dumb. From a dealership where they stole a bunch of other cars too, which is just like,
yes.
Okay, so who cares? Why is this a deal? Oh, because it's Deshaun Watson. That's why it matters. And that's why they have to make it clickbait. As a nice sack there.
Yep. Chris Jones atoning potentially for that roughing call as he's able to spin around. That all-pro right guard, that's Brendan Scherf they brought over from Washington.
Yeah, left him alone on an island there, and Jones really had his way. Got off the block nicely.
Now they've got him double-teamed deep to the right side, tipped and out of bounds as he tried to go for Kirk, and that'll be incomplete, and so they will have to punt this one away. Logan Cook angling this one to the left sideline, out of bounds at the 18. That's where the Chiefs will take over as well. That's right, Wendell, you're right. Clickbait. Absolutely.
It's all about getting eyes on articles. That's all they care about, and that's how they make their money.
Whether it's true or not.
Yep.
Here's a quick throw, first touch of the day for Kelsey, and he'll be tough to bring down. 2nd and inches. Trips to the right side. Give it up, fake the inside run. Now Mahomes, little slot back, throw it over short. Caught MVS on the other end, Valdez Scantling. Turning into another nice weapon for him as well. The resurgence of Jerick McKinnon, the development of Isaiah Pacheco, the rookie out of Rutgers, of all places, I believe. That's the Andy Reid experience. Mahomes now, right side, caught short. Whoop, did it look like he almost dropped it immediately, picked it back up, but I guess they're going to say got it.
Yeah, it was interesting animation there for sure.
Ace formation here now with a tight end wing on our side. Plus coming from Herndon, the nickel back, and nobody felt it or read it, and that's going to be an easy sack, and it sets up a 3rd and 10.
That was just really well schemed. We're not expecting that backside backer blitz to come around the edge, and did not have the protection shifted to account for it. And the Jags kind of caught the Chiefs napping a bit there and come up with a nice sack.
3rd and 10 now, 2:47 to go on the clock. Mahomes back to pass out of the shotgun. They're setting up screen left side. The Jags read it, and it's going to be swatted away by Fatou Kassi, the DN, another one of those free agents that they maybe quote-unquote overpaid for.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what.
He's been solid on the line.
He made a really nice play trying to do his best impersonation of a quarterback there as he made a nice little PBU, got his hand in there at the point of attack. Just really, that's hard to do. You got to time the ball up, and you don't expect the big D linemen to have those kind of the skill player skill sets like that, which timing up the ball, hand-eye coordination that some of these skill players do, but shows that not all of them are lacking that.
Lawrence going to go over the head and out of bounds. 2nd and 10. Yeah, James, who's the local favorite down there to be the new coach? There's a big hole up the middle for ETN. Breaking tackles all the way to the 45. Huge run for number 1. I feel like we've heard about all the people the Colts have interviewed, the Broncos, even the Cardinals to some extent, but I haven't heard much about the Panthers search. Is there a leader in the clubhouse, in your opinion, as our resident Panthers expert? John. 2nd and 4, pressure coming. Lawrence in trouble, and that's the rookie, George Karlaftis, the pride of Purdue. And a big sack sets up a 3rd and long. I love that John always tells his dad jokes.
Yes.
When he's on the chat. Appreciate that. It's a good one. Most of the fans want Wilkes to stay. Interesting. Okay. I mean, they definitely played hard for him at the end of the year with some subpar talent, particularly at the quarterback position. So, I mean, there's certainly something to be said for that. And he got a super raw deal in Arizona when they canned him after a year.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what did you take of this? The stories about Peyton kind of cutting his own legs out from underneath him, saying the Saints are gonna expect a 1st-round pick, and that effectively, if he gets picked up as the head coach, that's his 1st-round pick. An interesting story. What did you take of that?
Yeah, I mean, it is weird because he's still, even though he's retired, he's still technically under contract, right? So if he unretires, technically the Saints still
have
own
to trade
him.
him.
And so you have to functionally trade for him. So there really would be an extra level of negotiating. You know, I mean, you're not just negotiating with the team you're trying to hire, you're also negotiating with the Saints. And then the Saints are also negotiating with the team that you're about to work for. Yeah, so it's like, hey, I really want to come coach there, except I know that I'm giving up a potential immediate starter to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Or is it only going to be a team that has multiple first-round picks, you know, like maybe
Right.
Houston or something like that?
Right. Well, but the fact that he himself, like, it's one thing for the Saints to say that. I mean, you'd expect the Saints to say that, but he's the one going in saying, "Hey, I think the Saints are going to ask for a first for me," kind of thing. Like, he's like cutting his own value almost by saying, you might not want to trade for me almost.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how long does that like expire whenever his contract expired? Or they don't own him in perpetuity, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it should be. I think it's whenever the contract would have expired. But that's interesting too, because I'm wondering if that's like him trying to say, I'd like to really wait for my opportunity that I want. That maybe that's not on the table right now, and maybe I just want to stay in the media side of the house for now.
Yeah. 2 more years with Peyton. Thank you, James, resident NFC South expert as well. 1st and 10 after that nice run by Jerick McKinnon, who's again had a kind of a spark to the career, playing in the backfield. A little sidearm sling to McKinnon, who moved out to the right side as a receiver. That's over 100 yards now for Mahomes, with a 2nd and 1 coming up. No, Wendell, I was saying the Panthers played hard at the end of the year without a good quarterback. Baker had already been traded. They were going back and forth between P.J. Walker and Sam Darnold, and there was certainly not a high caliber position for them. But he had the Panthers playing hard. And no CMC, obviously, as well. Quick throw to the right side. That's Kadarius Toney, again getting traded mid-season, the former first-round pick of the Giants. Remember, of course, that was the guy Urban wanted, and then he was thrown off guard and then settled for ETN. But it turned out to be pretty good for him to settle for ETN. Yeah, James, I mean, life comes at you fast in the coaching, and how much of that awfulness was Byron's fault, or did he just become the fall guy?
Well, I mean, there's some question of who was the one calling 60-plus pass plays in a game. I mean, was that on Brady, converting plays, 2 pass plays that might have been called as run, or was that actually Leftwich with the game plan calling 60 pass plays? I mean, either way, that's obviously a dude who's mid-40s is not somebody that you want to be consistently throwing 60 passes in a game. It's just common sense. I know
Dak played his tail off. He had a whale of a game. I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but yeah, it's felt like we watched Brady age 5 years in one game.
Right. Well, don't discount the year that he's had and all the challenges he's had to deal with top of football. It's that's no small amount of stress, which stress is one of the big life changers in terms of what it does to you in the body and how it affects performance. It's no small thing. So, and that's one of the bigger stressors that are out there. So certainly going through anything like that is difficult to deal with, let alone trying to do that and play NFL level football.
For sure, even if you are potentially the greatest to ever do it.
Yep.
So 7-6, both teams scored on their opening drive, and now we've sort of stalled out a little bit. Defenses have adjusted. 10 minutes to go, first half. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy joining you on Nagy on Sports with our official 2022 season. I guess technically maybe we should call it 2023. I don't know. We should change the title of the video perhaps. But we are in the playoffs now. Of course, we will sim you all the way to the Super Bowl. Maybe we'll even sim the Pro Bowl since they're not actually playing a game. Of course, it will not all be the real guys, but you know what we mean. But and then, of course, as soon as the season's over, Kit and I will be mock general managers for the Browns, and we will get into our new sim season with the fun expectations and what Jim Schwartz can maybe provide and the kinds of body types that may or may not mean that we end up with in free agency. Still base
4-3, but now the wide 9 look primarily really expecting a lot of 4-man pressure looks. primarily man base behind it, which so you'll expect to see very simplistic in terms of the actual scheme them up, X's and O's defense, but a very effective one, as we've seen from the numbers over his career.
Left side out route, Ingram, first down into Chief territory. Give him to him at the 32. John, we talked a little bit about Schwartz earlier. Kit and I both love the hire, even more so as we think about it. And after his presser, which was just great, really excited about what he'll bring, and hopefully can clean up and take that unit to the next level and take the whole team to therefore the next level. Because even with a competent defense, we're probably in the playoffs, even with all of the turnover and mid-season quarterback changing and things of that nature.
Yep, absolutely agree. I think you probably turn five plus of those losses around with a better defense.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think Maher's still the guy, James. How wild was that? 4 missed extra points. But no, I don't think they're going to cut him and get another kicker. Oh, you're fine. Maybe we should do a whole little video. I don't know. I feel like all of the other talking head shows do, but maybe we should too. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, John, I was able to force win the right teams to win, so that was the matchup. But I do think technically the seeds are backwards. So the game will actually be in Cincinnati when we sim it versus in Buffalo.
Interesting.
So because if I had to go back to week 17, and if I forced the Bengals to win, then they become the 2 seed and the Bills became the 3 seed.
Yeah.
And then if I forced the Bills to win, then they would actually become the 1 seed. And then I was like, well, no, they don't get a bye. So
yeah.
No, I think I actually made the Bengals win it and then lose it the next. I don't know. I remember. Anyway, we have the 4 correct teams. They may not be exactly the same seeds, but we will have the right matchups, which is, after all, most important.
That's correct. Yeah.
And there will be certainly no way for me to make it happen in Atlanta should it become Kansas City and Buffalo. It'll be played here in Kansas City. Picked! Lawrence with a bad throw across his body, laid over the middle. And Juan Thornhill, who I think could be a free agent, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, might look good in brown and orange. Picks it off at the 12, first down now for the Chiefs.
Yeah, Juan Thornhill was a guy that I actually really wanted in the draft back when he was coming out. I think, 2019? He was a dude that I had targeted in that draft, thinking that would be a sweet pickup for the Browns, and I'd still love to see him. He's had a lot of success here with these Chiefs.
First and 10 now, empty set, quick little throw, little sidearm slinging it. They've got that sidearm animation dialed in for him, don't they? Smith-Schuster, another catch to the 27.
So real quick, back to the Jim Schwartz discussion. One of the things that I've seen a lot of is the discussion about what he does with defensive lines, and the whole question about whether or not he's going to get his guys, and whether or not he's going to have a voice in that process. And I absolutely think that's the case. I think this front office is way too collaborative for him not to be involved in that, and not very heavily. And he's going to tell AB what he needs and what he wants, and that's going to be a fair amount, especially now that this is his stock in terms of how much leverage he's going to have is never greater than right now. So he's going to get that going into this season. But there's a lot more to it than just the draft and the free agency picture. You got to remember too, just because he's had studs along the way doesn't mean that they were necessarily studs by design, with or without him. It's some of those guys might not have had as great of success as they did without the scheme that they were playing in, the coaching that they received. So don't think also that some of the potential
sucked after he left him, right?
That's right.
Got really bad.
That's right. So don't forget that some of the guys that are already on this roster might very well turn into the studs that you're looking for. Now, we probably do need some larger guys that are harder to push around. That's something that we are missing in the D-tackle room in particular. But I do think that there's a fair amount to be said for just the scheme being very favorable for the D-line, and the coaching. The expectations and the coaching, and kind of getting the best out of your players is a big part of what his success has been in the NFL.
Absolutely. maybe I can talk Kit into doing a video about the wide 9, and because to me, I'm like, if you're having more space in between your defensive linemen, isn't it just that much easier to gash you in the run game? But clearly it's not, or they wouldn't do it. And he's had really good run defenses. So clearly I'm missing something when extra big gaps in the D-line actually make it harder to run against. Maybe it's easier for the linebackers to see the gaps they're supposed to be because they're enormous. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, part of it is the linebacker play and there's really no changing in terms of responsibilities. Your responsibilities are going to be your responsibilities. You have this gap,
Gotcha.
I've got that gap. It doesn't really change in that scheme. So there's not going to be a lot of finger pointing in terms of well, was that my responsibility or your responsibility? Who is supposed to be? No, it's just you've got your job. And then the biggest part of his success and what we're going to need to see from our linebackers, who, by the way, I do think we have the guys on the roster who can get this done. Yeah. We just have to get the right combination of them, and I think Jim Schwartz is the guy to figure that out and really let the competition prove out with who we already have on the roster. Although they may look to bring somebody in, but really it's about the instincts, the play fast, the reading the play quickly, and then getting to your gap assignment as appropriate to meet the ball sooner rather than later. And then it's just sound technique and tackling.
He's driving now, went for it on 4th and 1 and converted. Look at that crazy sidearm throw.
Yeah.
That's Smith-Schuster down to the 10. We're under 30 seconds to go, though. Andy Reid's only has one timeout left. He's going quick now, 28-27. Mahomes stepping up in the pocket, pressure coming, and it's the first-round pick, the first overall pick, Travon Walker, and the Chiefs will have to call their final timeout with 16 seconds.
Wow.
John, I couldn't. This is like a boy who cried wolf situation because I'm reading it like making sure I didn't miss some sort of pun-related joke about the wolf killing the mountain lion. Caught it, though. He broke it up in the end zone. Now 3rd and goal. 10 seconds here. Cannot take a sack or the half is over.
That's right.
Mahomes stepping into the pocket, throws it short to Kelsey. He can't get out. He's got to get out of bounds.
Not going to happen. It looks like the half is
Nope.
going to end.
They're going to say the knee is down, and he blew it. And the Chiefs blew an opportunity to get points there at the end. 7-6 now. So again, after both teams score on their opening drives, we only are able to muster one more field goal for the remainder of the half. Pretty evenly matched game.
Yeah,
I think this is like a 52.5 point over-under. At this point, we are very clearly going with the under. So yeah, I was able to get them right, but I don't,
right.
We made it work, but it got kind of wonky on other places, but that's okay.
Yeah, the matchups are what mattered. But back to your comment there, John. I did the exact same thing Phil did, where I was like, all right, where's the joke in this? And not finding it. And then I'm like, wait a second, did I miss something? And then I realized it was real strong.
All right, here we go. Second half. Again, appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, Nagy on Sports, full length, original commentary Sims. Only place you can find it on the internet. Very appreciative of our subscribers. You guys are the best as we continue to make our push for 1,000. If you haven't yet subbed the channel, we would very much appreciate that. Tell your friends, tell your family, log into your wife's email and sub from her channel as well. We don't really care, but we are excited and happy to continue to hang out with you. 2nd and 4 here.
That's a big old cougar then.
Wow, yeah.
Bigger than Derek Wolfe. That's a big man.
Yeah, he is a large human.
Yeah.
Pacheco's had a hard time getting going. Just 5 carries, 7 yards. Chiefs have been throwing a lot. Devin Lloyd, the rookie linebacker out of Utah, on the tackle. Now he'll go right side. Caught right at the sticks by Kelsey, and they'll give him the spot. A little home cooking, perhaps, on that spot. Rashad Jenkins, the safety, brings him down.
So, Mason, I think there are 2 things to think about that. Number 1, I think they need that blow the top off the defense receiver. I think that's going to be high on the priority list. And obviously the Schwartz experiment, not Jim, but
Anthony.
Anthony, thank you. Schwartz experiment is probably over at this point. So now they're looking to find that guy who's going to provide that and be consistent in that side of on that side of the ball. But then the other piece of it is really just the work in the off season. this is the first quarterback in, since I don't know when, that has stayed in Cleveland in the offseason to work, with the coaching staff to make sure he's going to be on point. I fully expect him to come out and be exactly on the same page with Kevin Stefanski, and I think this next season bodes for great success for Watson, especially if they can get him that really speedy threat downfield, because that's going to open up everything underneath. That's going to do very good things for what Njoku's doing, for what Cooper's doing, what DPJ is doing, because that will complement all of those guys so well. And then not to mention Nick Chubb. That's going to open up huge lanes for Nick Chubb to run through.
Yeah, absolutely. Short little throw, and that's another first down. That's Noah Gray, second-year tight end out of Duke. Vaunted football school, Duke Blue Devils. Yeah, I was going to ask about Brandon Cooks. What are your thoughts on that, Kit? I think I'm out on D-Hop. I don't need a 31-year-old receiver who's going to cost me almost $28 million a year.
Yeah, no, definitely not Hopkins. Cooks, I could be. He may be a prospect you could look at. Realistically, though, I'm kind of more expecting them to try to do something in the draft at the receiver position. Maybe that first pick is going to be a wide receiver.
It's another deep draft. Yeah, they could get somebody at 43 without much trouble.
Yeah, so that would be my expectation. Is if it's not a D lineman, it's going to be a wide receiver there. They're gonna get their guy in the draft, and hopefully they've got their guy. Because that's really going to matter. And they need it to. The biggest thing with this, they need to make sure it's not a project. It can't be a project. It's got to be somebody who's ready now.
Which maybe does talk about free agency, little play action, and then he fumbles it. No, it'll be picked up. Olakun, the linebacker, can't quite stick away. And another good drive by the Chiefs thwarted.
Yeah,
with
the
a
rarity.
Strip sack.
The rarity again of the Chiefs not being able to convert for points at first, the kind of a mismanaged end of half, and now their second opportunity at a very nice drive put together comes up short as the strip sack results in the Jaguars getting another crack at this, and that's the last thing you want to have going on when your defense is the part that's suspect. If your offense isn't clicking and not able to put up points, that does not bode well for you here.
Lawrence, zip it across the middle, short throw.
The biggest thing, though, about the free agency with the wide receivers is there's not a lot of prospects there in terms of guys that you really think can get it done outside of trading for somebody. But you've given up a lot of your assets in the trading market, to go get Deshaun. So, what are you trading with? And it's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, to find that guy, in the free agency market or in a trade. So I think it's more likely that you're looking at, you're going to have to probably pin your hopes on the draft. You need a ready-made guy if that's going to be the case. Mason, I don't agree with that at all. If you listen to the presser, I don't think it has anything to do with size. It's about being consistent and his first read being accurate and filling the correct gap at the right time, with solid tackling and fundamentals and technique. I think he's going to coach up JOK. I think he's going to really love the explosiveness, because that's a big part of what he does care about, which we all know how explosive JOK can be. I think JOK is going to look like a whole new player coming into this next season with Jim Schwartz as his coordinator.
Could help a lot for Jacob Phillips too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think he'll get the best out of JOK, and I don't think it's anything to do with body size or the tall or underside. I mean, he specifically talked about it. It's not about the size. It's about how they play the game and the impact that they have at the point of contact, and also just their ability to quickly read the play and play fast.
But time will tell for sure. They're going to keep him for 2 more years, and then we'll decide, if they don't extend him or give him a big deal, then we can just say, hey, thanks for the memories, and go try to get paid somewhere else.
Yep, and and we'll find out really quickly, because I think he's going to give everybody a fair shake at getting their playing time, and if JOK is not seeing a lot of the field, we'll know why.
That's true. That's very true. Smith-Schuster will catch it down to the 8, 3rd and 1. They're right back down into the scoring zone. Can they finally put one in the end zone now? 3rd and 1. Mahomes will spread him 5 wide. Back to pass. Stepping left, firing back of the end zone. Kelsey, what a catch! Touchdown, Chiefs! He just boxed him out. What a catch in the corner of the end zone, and the Chiefs get their first lead of the game.
Yeah, just like that, the Chiefs offense strikes as they finally looking back to form here as they managed to punch this one in on just a truly terrific effort by Kelsey to come away with that ball, as it was a little bit on the inside, not where you wanted to put it for Mahomes, but Kelsey able to get it done anyway.
Back to pass, the blitz coming, they're going to go for 2. McKinnon, and he falls in. 14-7, just like we all thought it would be. 5:42 to go, 3rd quarter.
I thought it would have been this scoreline probably in the first quarter. The fact that it's now the 3rd quarter, only 14-7 is a little surprising.
Yeah, it did start real fast and slowed way down. Yeah, and Mason, I don't think there's any I mean, again, the guardrails are the guardrails. They draft guys who are young, and he's still really young.
Yep.
And again, he's got elite traits that can't be coached. It's really hard to make a guy faster.
Yep.
By the time they get to this level. So he's still young, he's still learning, he's still growing. His body will continue to get, more muscular and stronger in the right areas without sacrificing his speed. And, he could turn out to be great, or he could turn out to, just be kind of dinged and injured all the time, and maybe they'll slim him down and make him a safety. I mean, you should never know.
Yep, there's a lot of potential there. Certainly a lot to mold in terms of the play. It's just what happens with it, we'll see. And I think the potential is certainly there, and I think he could be great in this defense. We've seen flashes of it certainly. There's a nice return here.
Kadarius Toney, we're seeing a punt return for a touchdown.
Wow.
That may be the first time ever.
That's right. I think we've seen kickoff returns for touchdowns. I don't think we've ever seen a punt return for a touchdown here on the channel. And there it was as I was busy chatting and going, uh-oh, this could go.
He threw Trey Herndon off like a sack of potatoes and just took it to the house.
Well, credit the blocking out front
Kadarius
there.
Toney.
Credit the blocking, creating a really nice hole. Just really left one guy for Toney. That's exactly what you want to do. You make one guy miss, and if the blocking is on point, you should be able to make it to the barn every time. But it's just the blocking was on point. He made the man miss with a really nice broken tackle. Kind of that little sachet juke with the contact, just being able to shed him. Almost like a block, and then just from there he was off to the races, and nobody was going to catch him with the blocking out in front.
Sure was. That was great. Well, shock and awe here in Arrowhead. After being down 7-6, they've scored 15 points rather in the last minute and a half of football.
Yep.
And Lawrence needs to dial something in here now, down 21-7, just 4:18 left in the 3rd quarter. Again, you are listening to Phil Nagy and Kit Nagy. Nagy on Sports. Appreciate everybody being on with us. Lawrence zip it across the middle, short throw. And we do apologize for hijacking the game chat. First time we've all been on post Jim Schwartz hire, so everybody's decompressing.
Yeah. One last point too on JOK while I'm thinking about it though is it's not abnormal for guys to go through a sophomore slump. But JOK obviously had a little bit better season as a rookie, and now coming in after his sophomore year, a little bit rough there at times. He still had flashes of it, but obviously I think Schwartz is something that is very valuable for him in his 3rd year. I think he has the potential to really show out this year. We'll see.
Lawrence almost fires another interception dangerously as the pressure now really starting to get to him. 3rd and 10. They need a conversion pad. Chiefs rush 4. He'll step up in the pocket. No, he won't. He'll be hit, and the ball's out! And it's going to be scooped up by the Chiefs. Frank Clark at the 10, the 15, the 5. Touchdown! Wow, the Chiefs with 21 points in the last 3 minutes.
Well, after a very flat-footed start, this defense really has picked it up and figured it out, as in the midst of the tackle, managing to jar the ball loose. A very long time, the ball was really uncontested, sitting by itself. Unusual to see the ball sit there that long with no one on it. But Chiefs able to come away with a big scoop and score there, and that really changes the dynamic of this game, as it suddenly feels way out of reach for the Jaguars to come back in this one, with how good the Chiefs defense is now playing, plus with how the Chiefs offense has started to wake up.
Yeah, you got a defense and a special teams touchdown. Your offense doesn't have to do much.
That's right. But they got their touchdown too, so I mean it's really all three phases really clicking, all scoring in rapid succession.
Give it up the middle now. Etienne, oops, shove him out of the way. Etienne will run for 10 yards. The hope is, yes, we will do the other Saturday game this evening, if possible. I need to wait for Mrs. Nagy on Sports to get home and figure out what the schedule is. But yes, the hope is that we will be able to do the Giants and Eagles game later this evening. If not, we'll do it tomorrow morning-ish so we can, make sure it's done before it really happens. 28-7, 3rd and 4, just a minute to go, third quarter. Lawrence is going to need another miracle comeback, and he just absolutely airmails it over the top of Evan Ingram. You are, Jonathan? Are you serious? You getting married this weekend? Congratulations, dude. All right, Chiefs now. Man, they can just throw this thing into chew clock mode if they want to. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats for sure.
Throw it to the right side. Just pitch it to the right side, Isaiah Pacheco, and he'll pick up 4. 5 wide here for Mahomes. Looks like McKinnon's at the slot on the right side as they are letting the clock run. Back to pass now. Shuffling, firing easily across the middle. Caught right near the sticks by Smith-Schuster. Sets up a 3rd and 1, and they don't have to run another play this quarter, and they will not. Flip the field one final time. So again, man, that quarter escalated quickly, I think, as somebody put up there. James, yes, it did escalate quickly. We were 7-6 at halftime, and then in a span of about 3 minutes of football, touchdown, punt return, scoop and score.
That's right.
And that was probably curtains here for the game.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way, as the offense already off to a very quick start here for the Chiefs, getting some nice yardage there, the back of Etienne, but looking for more, one more touchdown on this drive. It feels like that would be well more than enough to put it away completely.
First and 10. Into chew clock mode now. Fortunately for us, motion from Noah Gray. Delayed handoff as they try a little pulling trap, and they're able to knife their way in there. That's Olakun, who's been really good. Player that they picked up in a free agency from the Jets. A lot of people hadn't even heard of him, and he's been sensational for them in the middle of that defense. Pacheco again, and he'll run right into Olakun.
Yeah, Jonathan, I'll echo that same sentiment, and I'll add to it the not only communicate, but the way in which you communicate, the saying what you what you think your partner has said back to them to make sure that your understanding of what they're saying is correct.
So the Jaguars will force a punt here, 13-14. And they will punt this one away. It's going to be taken from Jamal Agnew at the 30. He'll get up to the 36. Sort of lands on his head. So Peterson and Lawrence, do they have another miracle? Is there another Duval miracle? 13:06 to find out here. They're going to need scores and stops in rapid succession. They're going to start screen to the right side, and Chris Jones reads it. And Etienne is going to lose 4 yards. They were able to pick that one up very quickly. As rookie safety Brian Cook in there as well from Cincinnati. Go Bearcats. They got to go. They got to hustle.
Yeah,
back to pass. He'll throw a short little drag to Ingram, and he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, plus about 4 more yards. They'll say 6, and now it's 3rd and 4. Under 3:12 to go. Rookie Trent McDuffie on the tackle. Lawrence against the blitz. He's got lots of time. Left side. Had one-on-one coverage, but I'm not sure Marvin Jones would have been in bounds had he been able to bring that ball in. And now a 4th and 4, and you got to assume the Jags are going for it.
Yeah, really, he just needed to throw him open there. He had the step. He needed to throw it down the sideline for him to run underneath it. And unfortunately, put it out of bounds instead, which made for an incompletion.
As he set up another screen, and he had it. I'm not sure why Lawrence just didn't throw it. He was able to throw it away to save the sack, but I'm not sure why you're running screen passes now. Especially because apparently that was 4th down, and they just turned the ball over. I missed it. That was 4th down. Because now the Chiefs have the ball.
Yep, and Etienne carrying it with, both arms for the entire duration. The no fumble carry. Which, which
McKinnon, yeah.
Or sorry, McKinnon, yeah. But looking to prevent any turnovers here.
Mm-hmm. 3rd and 1. They go 5 wide. Why not?
So yeah, running back from the wrong team there. You said the wrong name. But yeah, McKinnon.
They both wear number 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Same number. Left side throw. First down. Tony. Kadarius Tony. 35 for 40 is Mahomes today for 321 and 1 touchdown.
I would be kind of surprised by that, Wendell, that Mexico would get an NFL team prior to
Europe?
either London or somewhere in Germany.
Pacheco to the right side for 4 more. Clock is running. So again, we appreciate you being on with us. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, Nagy on Sports. If you haven't yet hooked up with our Discord channel, we encourage you to do that. It's in the invite is in the description of this video and any of our videos, and it's a great way to connect with the community between sims, chat all things football. We were chatting a lot of Schwartz stuff, and people throw articles and clips and different things in there, but also tells you well in advance of when we were simming, able to drop it hours in advance today, so you had time to prepare for it, since YouTube's notification system is not always the most reliable or expedient.
Definitely not timely most of the time.
Correct, yeah. So I was to say, yeah, it's at best a couple minutes after we've already started.
Yep.
2nd and 8. We're under 7.5 to go as they'll pitch it to the right side. Pacheco, and he can't really go anywhere. There's Olakun again. Those teal sleeves. Third and 9. Pass Mahomes, firing it over the middle, wide open, touchdown Kelsey, and that one will nail the coffin the rest of the way closed.
Oh yeah, a little seam ball right up the middle, and just a beautiful throw from Mahomes, and too easy, well executed, but nobody home in that spot as they really schemed it up nicely to take advantage of the zone that they were in, and Mahomes and Kelsey strike again.
$35-7 now. 6:51 on the clock for Trevor Lawrence. Look at Nick Bolton now in his 2nd year. Solid pick for them out of Missouri last year. Lawrence. Left side at the first down marker. It's caught by Ingram. Now 24 of 36 for Trevor Lawrence, but just 170 yards as well. Under 6 to go now. Lawrence firing right side. Caught. Ingram to the 45. Bro almost broke a tackle. Justin Reed maybe saves a touchdown there. Yeah, I saw that, James. Yeah, OSU made the final 3 for Bronny. And you know he wants to play with him. Like, that's like the last thing he wants to do in terms of LeBron. Like, he wants to play with his kids, so he's at least got to play 1 year in college. I'm not sure if he's quite good enough to be one and done. He's a pretty good player, but certainly be enough of a novelty that somebody would take a flyer on him, especially to get Dad in the building. 2nd and 4 minutes to go. Delayed handoff to Etienne, and he can't get around Nandi. No yards. Just don't understand that call in that position. Delayed handoff, left side, Etienne, and he's near the first down, but 4th and inches.
Yeah, I mean, this game obviously is very much over, but interesting that they're electing to run it and now go for it on 4th and inches.
Across the middle, first down, conversion inside the 10. That's where Kirk will be thrown to the ground. But 2.5 to go. That's right, Mason. Go Cavs. Been a fun young team. They should win easily tonight because the Warriors are they played an overtime game against Boston last night, so they're resting like 6 starters. Oh, you think the Cavs need to bring Braun back and get Bronny? It'd be kind of fun. Second and goal now. Stepping up, and he'll take a sack. Frank Clark got home. 3rd and goal now, all the way back to the 19. End zone, caught, nope, not caught, out of bounds anyway. 4th and goal from the 19-yard line here. 98 seconds to go in this one. It was kind of boring and slow and then got really aggressive and exciting for about 2 minutes, and now it's boring again the other way. Are they going to say caught that for a touchdown?
No.
He did. We're not even going to get a replay?
What?
They're just going to say, he caught it for a touchdown.
I guess it was 4th down, so yeah, it had to be, but odd. I thought for a second that was a field goal attempt after a miss or a drop, but very odd as they're going for the pointless onside here.
Sure, why not? Oof, it's worse than usual. I know, John. I thought he was stopped short too. Yeah, LeBron's been crazy. He's averaging like 35 in the last 2 weeks or something after he turned 38. He's been crazy or good. Yeah, just let him stand in the corner at this point and catch and shoot, or just have him be the point forward. Just throw it to open Garland and Mitchell. They're drill shots all game. At least the Jags are not calling timeout.
Yes, fortunately.
Fortunately. They'll stretch it to the left side. Pacheco holding on to that football with 2 palms. They got one more play to run here. And the Chiefs will be in the AFC Championship, either hosting against the Bengals or playing in Atlanta against the Bills. But it'll be in this stadium when we sim regardless. They're going to take care of business. 35-14, the magical season for Peterson, Lawrence, and the Jags comes to an end. 35-14. Kit, wrap it up for us here.
Yeah, that one really was 3-phase complementary football induced, as you saw the back-to-back-to-back touchdown really completely take this game out of the hands of Trevor Lawrence and away from the Jaguars, as first Mahomes gets it done with a nice drive to really set it all up, and finally capitalizing with some points. And then followed by the special teams punt return for a touchdown, which is a first on Nagy on Sports to see one of those, which we're excited about. And then followed shortly thereafter with that very quick scoop and score to just completely take this ball game out of reach for the Jaguars. And so we get to see the Chiefs back in an AFC Championship, either to go head-to-head against the Bills or against the Bengals, which either one should be a really fun matchup.
Absolutely. I think that it will be. As we finish up the statistics here. So 35-14 is the final. Again, appreciate everybody being on with us. You guys are the best. We really do appreciate all of y'all joining us again. In a perfect world, I'll be able to drop the Giants and Eagles game at some point later this evening. Stay tuned. to the Discord when we will announce in advance. So there is the rest of the bracketing. So as you can see, I had to sort of flub the seeds so that the first round matchups weren't correct, but I was able to force her in the right teams to get them in the right places now. So this is what awaits us here coming up on the rest of the 2022 season playoffs. Appreciate everybody being on. You guys are the best. For Kit out on the left coast now, Phil in the Central Ohio area. We are Nagy on Sports. We appreciate you being with us. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And again, stay tuned to that Discord to see if we will pop back on with the other game of the Saturday. But until then, we'll talk soon. Today we'll say go Chiefs, and as always,
go Browns!